And you are live.
The characters, Prince Prospero, the Red Death, and then all of Prince Prospero's guests.
One sec.
Okay.
The setting is just a masquerade party in his large castle that they're out.
Okay.
The plot. The Red Death among the land is killing people very rapidly. Prince Prospero decides to throw a party and protect his 1,000 of his closest friends from the plague.
Before we go on the Red Death, it's a disease that kills people within a half an hour and blood just comes out of your pores.
Out of your pores?
Out of all your pores.
Everything.
Like
Orifices. All your pores.
All your organs.
Your nose, mouth,
It's gross.
Your whole.
Okay, continue.
Okay, we're all back. Once they all arrived to the party, they welded the doors shut from the inside. Prince Prospero had his guests all dressed in eccentric clothes. In one of the 7 apartments, there was a giant grandfather clock. Every time it chimed, everyone in the whole castle would stop what they were doing, and they would almost be in a trance. But then an odd guest appears that no one knew who it was, and his costume went a little too far since he was dressed up as the Red Death. As someone with the Red Death.
So Prince Prospero was known for his strangeness. He encouraged his masqueraders to choose costumes that were weird. Like one guy had a costume that had like his body parts all arranged in different places on his body. That was part of the costume.
Was he a unicorn?
And so many of them were dressed weird, but the guy who chose to dress up as someone afflicted with the Red Death, which they're trying to escape, that was crossing a line. Okay, continue.
This made the prince very angry and called for the people to get him. Nobody moved. So when nobody moved, it made the prince even angrier. He decided to attack the strange man himself. The prince chased the man through the 7 chambers. Once they reached the final one, when he pulled out his dagger to kill him, the prince died.
Okay.
The symbolism is that William Shakespeare wrote a poem called The 7 Stages of Man, so it kind of goes along with the 7 departments. So the first one from the poem was infancy, which is basically like you're brand new to the world, you're fresh. And the first color of the room was blue, which can be like go along with like birth and like newness.
Pause for 1 second. Okay, so this is a huge castle, right? There is like living area, party areas, ballroom. So most of their activity happens near the ballroom. Now this is how I envision this, and take it or leave it. The ballroom is probably what sort of shape?
Circle.
Okay, like round-ish kind of, I envision, again. Outside of the ballroom, there is a weird hallway. Now, you know the prince is strange. A hallway you would expect to be straight. But this hallway is full of sharp turns. And as you walk through the hallway from which direction?
East to west.
When you walk through this hallway from east to west, you go through a series of chambers that are all different colors. And each chamber has a stained glass window. Is this in there later? No. So each chamber has a stained glass window. Outside the window, there's a candelabra with a bunch of candles in it, flickering. Light is shining from the window into the chamber. Okay? The window matches the color of the chamber. And everything within that room is the same color as the stained glass window. Carpets, drapes, curtains, all of the furnishings are all the same color. So the first chamber is blue, then purple, then green, orange, white, violet. The seventh chamber, though, is different from the others because why?
It has a red window.
The window is red, shining red light into a room that is
Black.
totally black. And also inside this room is where the
Yeah. Are you done?
where the grandfather clock is.
Oh.
Everybody knows what a grandfather clock is, right?
See,
I think
it's
so.
like
The
one of
tall
old,
clocks.
long clocks with the little like pull things.
It has a pendulum. Usually it has pulleys that you have to, or sometimes has pulleys you have to reset when the weights go to the top and you have to pull them back down. Anyway, what happens at 1 o'clock?
It chimes once,
Chimes one time. 2 o'clock?
twice.
Twice, and so on and so forth. So as the evening progresses, the chiming, which what happens when the clock chimes?
Everyone stops.
Everyone stops. Because the sound of a grandfather clock chiming is kind of ominous, right? It's just this it's kind of freaky. And the fact that this alarm clock is so loud that you can hear it all the way from the western chamber in the ballroom. That's how loud it is. And everyone stops. So at 10 o'clock, they have to wait for 10 chimes. At 11, and the longest chiming at 12, okay? And that uncomfortable silence. And it is at the first chime at midnight when Prince Prospero notices the strange man. Okay, go ahead.
So then the second stage of life, Shakespeare calls schoolboy, which is when he was like happy, joyful, like three to like tween years, which would correspond with the purple, which is like when you're like mischievous, when you're like feeling a little naughty. And then the next stage is lover, which is like teens, early adulthood, which would go with like hot and heavy and like yeah, he's emotional, so he's like, and then green would go with like luck, envy, greed. And then his next stage is soldier, which is like when he's like growing, like starting a life, which is like he's like holding his oath, seeking acceptance, willing to fight, and that would go with hatred/anger. And then the justice, which is when he's like probably in his 40s, he's probably a parent, he's homebody, he's aging, which go with white, which is when like you're settling down, not really doing anything. And then old age is severe aging, nearing death, which is a violet, which is fear, dying, ending. And then second childhood, which basically where you can't even take care of yourself anymore, you need someone else to do it, which is basically a child again, dying, death, and that goes black, which is death and sadness.
Okay.
So the theme is basically like you can't escape what's gonna happen, and like no matter what, no matter how precaution you take, because in the story they actually they welded all of the doors shut from the inside. No one can get in, no one can get out. And as the clock strikes each time, they kind of get this sense of relief, like, oh, we escaped it for another hour, and all that. But when it chimes to midnight and the hour after, they realize the strange man, you can't escape it. The death is always coming.
Many people believe that the reason none of the guests move when Prince Prospero yells, "Get him," is because no one else sees him. That it's Prince Prospero's last hallucinations before he himself dies of the Red Death. When he pulls out his dagger to kill the Red Death character, a bunch of people are following him into the chamber, right? But they don't see anything there except him. And the thing is, after Prince Prospero comes down with the Red Death, what's going to happen?
Everybody dies.
Everyone, all 1,000 people locked in the chamber are also going to